What's more impressive when it's done naked? There was a guy on the local news that fought a cougar while naked, cause it attacked his dog. I too like to get naked with cougars. Not completely naked though. Wear that rubber. Wild animals carry all sorts of diseases. Ah yes, safety first. Sliding down a hot metal playground slide. Spacewalk. It's cold as balls out there. Horse racing. If jockeys could race naked, I'm sure they would. Anything to cut weight. Probably wear a Speedo, to reduce drag. Why would a horse wear a Speedo? Welding. Ask my how I got my winter sunburn. How did you get your winter sunburn? From the tanning bed, dumbass. I read this in Red Foreman's voice. Is there a vacant room in your ass? Because my foot is looking for one. Paraphrasing obviously. Beekeeping. My friend works for a beekeeping company that puts out a new calendar every year as a fundraiser. https://pbs.twimg.com/media/co9zwqjw8rp61.jpg. I'm gonna need more pictures, for research right? No, literally for masturbation purposes. At least you're honest. He is being very honest. I put a butterfly down my swimsuit when I was a kid and I swear it tried to drink from my penis. What the fuck? To both you and the bee. Which was a butterfly? Come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar, baby. What if I haven't washed my flower in years? Username checks out. Fun fact: bee stings can lengthen the penis. Yes. It's called puffing up lol. I don't think any mad lad decided to actually try it. I had one get into my boxers one summer when I was lounging around the house. Years later, you can still see the enlargement where it stung me. Arousing game of Twister. Ah, great spacing Lamau. Sounds like a Cards Against Humanity answer. Don't knock Strip Twister. That shit got competitive. I tried Strip Twister once. Neither of us wanted to lose, so we just ended up exhausted and fully clothed. That's where the alcohol comes in. Magic tricks. I'd love to see the disappearing pencil trick. I'm not quite sure what the implication here is, but all my inferences make me too afraid to ask. I would have thought you'd be more familiar with the techniques of nude magical arts, push_hiders. I would think the opposite. They are dedicated to keeping the bush hidden at all times. I believe naked magicians do it through a little sleight of hand trick called sounding. Life pro tip: don't fucking look that up, you just had to say something. You just had to. I can't unread what I just read and that will haunt me for weeks. You could have kept quiet and I would have scrolled right on by, but no, you had to warn us not to look it up, which, thanks to ADHD and infinite curiosity, my brain took as a challenge. So I can't thank you enough for this. So thank you you/X9FLACON9X from the bottom of my heart. Running from the police on asphalt on a hot summer day. When I was in Air Force basic training, July in San Antonio, Texas, there would be situations where we would march as a flight on the blacktop. This pavement was fucking hot in the middle of the day when we would march, and our MTI, military training instructor, made some of the trainees do push-ups. I remember people screaming when they had to get down and push for fucking up the march. One guy's hand was so raw he couldn't even open any doors. Not sure if our MTI got in trouble for that, but he did end up going to prison for making trainees drink toilet water from their canteens. He was also involved in the Lackland AFB sex scandal and was investigated for having relationships with tech school airmen. My MTI, I'm assuming accidentally, halted us in fire ant territory. No joke, they were halfway up my legs before I noticed, and when they started biting I asked for permission to adjust before I started swatting them off. Our drill sergeants took us to a field of fire ant nests for our react to indirect fire training. Which is just marching, then diving to the floor whenever the drill sergeants whistle while screaming incoming. At the time, I hated it and thought it was straight up abuse. That night, I realized they were teaching us that nothing is more important in combat than being alert and ready to endure pain to survive. Now, years later and jaded as fuck, I'm pretty sure it was just abuse. You should have seen it, Mike. Man, I wish I took a video or something. The dog ran in there and ripped his dick and balls off with one bite. It couldn't have been more than half a second. It's like they trained that dog to bite off someone's genitals. So I worked as an adoption counselor for an animal shelter. I had this big bloodhound shepherd mix named Moose. Moose was 130 pounds at just under a year. Sweet dog, but a whole lot of him. I have him in a meet with a young guy going great, seems interested. We are just wrapping up when Moose nails this guy in the junk while playing. It was rough and he did not end up taking Moose. Climbing Everest. Get ready to become halfway point naked guy. I wouldn't be surprised if there already is a naked corpse on Everest. Don't people undress sometimes during extreme cases of hypothermia? Yes, it's called paradoxical undressing. Some suspect it's due to the body not knowing how to signal being that cold as your vasal system shuts down and it starts sending the same panic signal it would if you were really hot, so you start stripping clothes off. I've read it's thought to happen when the muscles constricting your blood vessels in order to reduce heat loss and keep vital organs warm become exhausted and relax. The sudden rush of blood back out to the extremities makes the person feel hot, and in their confused mental state they assume they're overheating. Fun fact, I experienced this summer. I felt like I was burning up but had gotten myself so cold I was hypothermic. My temperature was off for months. Thank you for watching till the end. Consider liking and subscribing to support our content. Good night.